hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty. I'm joined tonight by Colin. Colin, how's it going?
Good, mate. It's a late one tonight, but I'm good. You?
I'm good as well. It is a late one. So Josh does a podcast for Dunfermline. He does like their community foundation social media. So part of that is doing a podcast. So he had first dibs because he had an interview guest on. So I know him as Mr. Philp. It's his PE teacher or one of the PE teachers at school, but he plays for Celtic Hearts as well.
Right. Is this your next door neighbour?
No. That's different. That's different. We're steeped in Celtic Heartsness here, by the way. I could have tried to get him to change their name. That's the next thing is, can you speak Celtic Hibs, please? Anyway, right. Well, we'll get some questions done. Right.
Aye.
So the first one came from a combination of Willie and Alex, or at @FatisPrickus on Twitter. Right, there's a fact, apparently, if Earth stopped for 1 second and you went belt buckle to the Earth, you would fall over and roll 800 miles an hour due east, killing everyone. And Willie says he doesn't know what to make of it, and Alex says only Shortbangers can confirm this on the next episode. So that was one of the things. Do you think that's actual factual, or do you think that's shite? And then Willie followed up with the question, say, how many tubes of Savlon cream would you need to cover the grazes that you'd get for that event?
If you survived it.
Aye.
I'm not convinced that I could move at 800 miles an hour.
Well, it's the inertia, isn't it? Like if Earth stops spinning, you wouldn't. It's like the same principle as if you're in a car and the car stops all of a sudden, you just go fucking whoosh. That's why seatbelts are important.
Safety programming, yeah.
Aye, the same principle. You're not about one of those big fucking Zord balls that you get that you could just bounce a boot on, but even one of them at 800 miles an hour is probably going to be fatal.
Why would it be due east?
Because of the direction the Earth spins.
Like the clockwise, anti-clockwise.
Aye, or east to west. It's probably easier way to think it.
I don't think east to west.
No. Or
look inside the box.
No. I think I saw this question came into us like last week. I think I was coming back for taking Josh to goalie coaching, and I mentioned it to him, and we were like, you think you travel 800 miles, but you travel 800 miles an hour, but that's like fucking instant the speed that you'd hit. Your acceleration would probably be enough to kill you, and then the first thing that you come into contact with, I don't think you'd survive it unless you like kind of hit a blancmange or something like
just
this.
Disintegrate. You just disintegrate, wouldn't you? But it says that the last bit of the question was it would kill everybody or everything, didn't it?
Aye.
But is that because it wouldn't be like me or you that killed everybody? It would be a combination of millions of people all travelling at 800 miles an hour.
Aye, rattling at each other. And you would imagine it wouldn't just be the people, so even trees and that would be getting uprooted, you would think, at that speed.
Why?
Some of them fall over with a bit of wind, eh? Like they look hard, trees and that, but if I could look at them, aren't they like school softies?
And has he made this up as a sort of scenario, or is this a thing he's read that he's trying to?
It was by a Twitter account called Fact. So
what's a couple of letters or back?
What's a couple of letters? I'm going to check it.
Because if it's not couple of letters, it'll not be true.
Nah. But the Twitter account is just @fact. So that does sound quite serious. Like it's got its act together. So anyway, number of tubes of Savlon?
Just for me or for everybody?
Yeah, for you. If you've survived it, you've been lucky. You've gone into a pillow factory or something. Aye. Just the one.
Just one of the just a couple of scratches on the head or whatever.
Hardest
full of elbows would probably catch it.
Bit of the knees. Right, the words. He said, late early Shortbangers question. What incentives could Celtic offer to entice someone to become their next manager? It appears in 1976, Austin Allegro half-eaten bag of Nuttall's Mintos, and the last surviving VHS of Molly Weir doing the Flash advert was not enough. Celtic struggling to get a manager. See, they've asked permission for dispensation for the boy not to have his coaching badges.
Oh, have they? I've not seen anything about this. I was laughing at the Eddie Howe stuff, but I didn't know about the new boy not having his badges. But, like, no any at all. Or at a certain level, it'll be a certain level when you get
the UEFA Pro,
A or whatever. Pro,
but he's not got them.
They'll give him that though. They give that. They pass the dispensation out, don't they? And he'll have a period of time to finish it. He'll get a year to do it or 2 years to do it.
You think
and he'll get sacked within that time anyway.
You probably because he's got the professional experience. But I think what else you could offer a manager to take over at Celtic? I mean, they must get fucking paid a fortune. And if that's
paid a fortune, and he's got to get more money to spend than anybody. All he needs to do is basically all he needs to do. He's basically got to be at Rangers and win the league. So
easy. Right, Matt Reedy said, which is the best Hibs podcast?
I like Down the Slope.
Aye, that's what I would say as well. No offence to the other ones, which are all good as well. But I'll pump for Down the Slope as well. Boogie FUT. Why haven't Lincoln, Swansea and Man City apologised to their supporters? That's his first question. There was obviously a wee thread on Hibsnet saying that Hibs should have apologised for losing the cup final. Would you stand on that?
Well, where I stand on that. So we spoke on Longbangers, proper Longbangers, before about targets and all that. And I think from memory, you said pick a song to sum up the season, and I said Don't Look Back in Anger was what I picked, and that's what's happened. Well, because they lost that game that we wanted to win, could have won, shouldn't have won it because we weren't good enough. But I think to try and hound the manager out and demand apologies for the club and all that, I think it's the wrong way to go. If you can't see 11th or 10th when he came in to 7th on points average to 3rd, if that's no progression, I don't know what's expected.
Aye, you're still seeing folk on social media. I'm going to fucking rant again because this is it's probably my biggest bugbear in life these days, right? It shows you how little actual proper stuff I've got to worry about, right? Folk that can't just let it go on Twitter. So now, like, Hibs tweeted about season tickets and they get fucking someone tweeting them about losing the cup final. The player of the year last weekend, why did they not turn up at the cup final? And Martin Boyle, shame you weren't there. Or fucking Jackson Irvine or Joe Newell, he got the HFC one. So we retweeted it. So then we get twagged. The fuck is twagged? We get tagged.
It's a new one. Use that. Go with that.
Twagged. That's when you get tagged by a twat. We get tagged in the replies, and folk just get them pelters. You're like, can't just got the fucking player of the year award. Let them have it. We're all disappointed that we got beat in the cup final.
Yeah,
it's been a long season for them. Just let them have a wee fucking moment. Even on .net, Kevin Nisbet scored last night. Cancer slaughtering him. You're like, fucking let him have his moment and enjoy it. You didn't need to tell him that you think he's shite. You didn't need to remind him that he didn't do well in the cup final. He already fucking gets that. Just shut up. If you've not got something good to say, just fucking shut up. Just let it slide.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree with that.
Or
social media is just horrible though.
Aye. Moan and didn't tag them in. That's the other thing. It's like, if you want to go and have a moan about it, that's absolutely fine. You're allowed your opinion. You didn't need to tell fucking Martin Boyle that you thought he was shite that day. Anyway.
Well, he'll know. He'll know anyway. That's the thing. It's like, why you... I don't know what they're trying to achieve out of it. I don't know what the purpose of that is at all.
Aye. It wouldn't motivate.
It's not even constructive. It's not even constructive. Like, I like constructive criticism. I give it, I take it. Fucking somebody just saying you're shite isn't constructive in any way.
It's no. That's why none of my kids like me.
I know.
No, it wouldn't work for me. See, if I was a player and I was like, I'd come over on a Saturday night and go, that was fucking shite today. I fucking wish I played better. And then I read it, I go, oh, fuck's sake. And then a week later, I'd be getting ready for my work again, think, right, I'm right up for this. And then somebody, you were pissed last week. I go, fuck's sake. It would put me on a downer. I wouldn't think, I'm going to try harder for that boy that slaughtered me there.
I know, and I'm going to say controversially maybe, but like the word supporter, it's got the word support in it, and they're not supporting anybody there by doing that.
That's your strong opinion. That was the
Nice.
question last week, wasn't it? What was your strong opinion? And I had a shite one, so that's my mere strong opinion there. So I've answered that question twice for those.
Keeping that one back.
For the strong opinion Hibs guys. Right, 150k on Hanlon Hill. Will Longbangers appear in Longbangers top 5 Hibs podcasts? No. No, we won't. Not a fucking chance. Liam, if Hibs 2021 season was a cheese, what cheese would it be?
What's the one with holes in it?
Well, there's Emmental or Swiss cheese is pretty much what you would. So I would go with that.
Right, that one. A few holes in it.
Aye.
Quite a good cheese, but I've got a few holes in it.
Aye. I'm never that sure with Switzerland, by the way, but the flag's a big plus. So. Right, Kaiser Soze said, if Hibs had a Friends type reunion Longbangers podcast, what 5 players would you want on? So you get to pick. Did you see the Friends reunion?
Nah, I recorded it, but I actually thought it was a programme rather than just like the 5 of them having a chat. So we've not watched it. We've since seen that that's what it was.
It was decent. I kind of dipped in and out of it. Right? I was never a huge fan of Friends, but Jane used to watch it a lot. So I says, you want me to chuck that on for you? I went and made the tea and stuff. I was dipping in and out. And then you see Joey, and you think, this boy's fucking enjoyed himself. Like all the rest of them all look like they've had a bit of work done. Joey looks like me. I'm like,
see, he was in Top Gear last year, right?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Or 2 years ago, before Paddy McGuinness and I got the job.
Aye.
I watched it at the time, like back in the old days, but no, like I've never watched any of the repeats that are on Channel 4, Channel 5, whatever else. But I did watch it, but no. Do you remember Scott, mate Scott, not coming out on a Friday night because his Friends was on? I remember that. That was an excuse one night. I hope he's listening. Hope he listens. Kind Friends is on. Like,
how'd you get away with that?
Like, we're going a century. Friends.
If it had been, it's the Red Triangle on Channel 4 the night, you'd go, all right. there's a French movie on, all right. No fucking.
Probably the days before you could tape it though. Like you could no videos or remake.
This Sky Plus or nothing. Right, what 5 players would you put in for your Friends type reunion and who you bring it back?
So what we try to achieve out of it, like just like a match or a 5-a-side game or like a laugh? Or what's the sort of...
Just 5 that you'd like to see. Well, I suppose it need to be 5 folk being reunited, so from the same era.
That's right, that's what I'm thinking. It'd have to be for the same era or for... Well, I don't know. What are you thinking?
So I'd probably go Golden... So I kind of went... 2 options for me would have been the Sozy Latapi era, where you could bring them back. Plus any other 3, because there's only those 2 you're bothered about. Or the Golden Generation, so Riordan, O'Connor, Fletcher, Brown, Thompson.
Aye.
Maybe no Thompson. Thompson will be an unpopular. We'll go for Whittaker. Thompson gets
he plays for Rangers as well, though. Aye, he plays for Rangers. So that's why he got pillars.
Thompson's getting stick now because he went to Celtic Hearts. There's another connection as well. I think he got a stick because he said he wanted to, if he wants to manage Rangers one day, he needs to start somewhere like Celtic. And every come went, I can manage Rangers. I know what manage the Hibs. Prick.
Still got season tickets at Easter Road as well, eh? His laddies.
He played for free.
I know. And he doesn't help his silver. I watched the game most recently. We played them through there towards the top 6 game, and he was co-commentary on the Rangers TV.
It was hard work that, wasn't it?
Aye, and I think the commentator even says, "When you're a Hibs fan, but I came on my latest live the day and all that," and he was giving it the wee and all that, and you think, what? You came here all watching this? For fuck's sake! Yeah, but he doesn't help himself.
No,
and I can't blame what's his name, Keith Jackson for the articles back in the day, but he had to do more to proofread them, like
Keith Jackson and Willie Mackay, wasn't it? Willie Mackay, he got into bother, didn't he, Willie Mackay, for doing stuff he shouldn't be doing, if I remember right.
Is you infringing on the legal thing again? He has got to fucking sue you. This is what he said that the boy went to the jail. Is it not something to do with the boy in the plane crashed?
Oh, aye. So there was questions asked. I think I can see there was questions asked because there definitely were. I didn't care what the outcome was, so I'm not going any further with it.
Oh, no,
I think if it's libelous to say he was a prick when he was dealing with Brown and Thompson over it.
No, that's accurate. So you can't be done for that.
Right, next question. Alex, it's commonly known that you don't reach full adulthood until you start appreciating boring cereals. Weetabix, bran flakes, fruit and fibre, etc. But what is the best boring cereal and why? For what it's worth, my favourite is oat flakes, and I could name a top 5.
And did he, or did you say?
No, I'm going to take him at his word though. I'm not going to call him out for it.
He's probably named them on the question, this, isn't it? I like porridge. That's pretty plain and boring.
Aye, what'd you have on it?
So I like a bit of honey on it, and maybe some nuts, some sort of like walnuts or something like that. Or banana chips is the other one I sometimes go for. Not a banana slice, the actual chips, crunchy chips.
Nice.
Which takes a healthy bit away. You eat the porridge to be healthy, and then you wrap a fucking big spoonful of honey and banana chips on it. But that's it. It's pretty boring porridge. That's what I'd go with.
Aye.
We actually bought a porridge. We bought a cereal today, right? We were at Costco this morning, and I go, so my youngest, Cocoa Pops, right? I'm just looking at them now. I'm trying to remember what they're called. They're strawberry and white chocolate flavoured Cocoa Pops, which isn't a boring. It doesn't sound boring, does it? It sounds pretty exotic. So just to take the question away from the boringness.
Aye. Cereals, they things that are like sugar puffs aren't called sugar puffs anymore, are they? They're like honey puffs.
It's because they're taking the sugar out of them, I think.
Aye.
Sort of do with
but that makes it boring. Because sugar puffs used to be fucking mad, apart from the making your piss smell of sugar puffs, which they do.
That doesn't happen anymore, I know. Not very often.
But sugar puffs used to be brilliant, but they taste like they've had a lot of the sugar taken out of them, and that's disappointing. I like Weetabix with a top crust of sugar on them. If you could quite heavy on the sugar, again, removes all the health benefits of it. But
one of my daughters was telling me that they put Weetabix with butter on them. It's like, who the fuck would do that?
So where would they talk? Was they talking about that Top Flight Time Machine? Or is it
Well, that was on that as well. No, it was on that as well, but they must have seen something on TikTok or something as well. But it was on that a while back.
Beans as well.
Beans?
Aye.
Well, Weetabix.
Fuck, listen, I've not tried it, and it's not something I'm of a mind to try. But Weetabix with a bit of sugar, or Alpine muesli. That's good. Again, if you put back a good ton of sugar on it. Most cereals, most things are good. If you fucking...
all these healthy ones, put fucking a pound of sugar in them.
Pound of sugar, you're laughing.
Sugar and milk, and you'll be fine.
That's how I ended up like Joey with friends. All right, here's one for John. He says, have you ever got a plastic mixing bowl from Asda and filled it with all your favourite cereals, Wheatos, Cheetos, Golden Grahams, and 2 or 3 Pop-Tarts just to be fancy?
No, I've never done that. But a boss of mine in the old days swore by mixing 2 cereals. Always had 2 cereals in his bowl. Different ones every day.
Aye. Might start trying that.
Never done it. But he was always like, I don't know, Frosties and Cocoa Pops or cornflakes and Rice Krispies or whatever, all mixed in the same bowl. It was only 2 though, wasn't it? Like a big, whatever that is, pick and mix or whatever.
It's quite a maverick approach to life, though, isn't it?
Inventive.
I think I might get on board with that. I'm having a look to see cereals.
If it was that good though, surely Kellogg's would just fucking do it.
Aye, just sell them that way.
Like they've done that with crisps recently. Yeah, you were getting the shared bags of crisps and it had like Wotsits and a Dorito in it, and I don't know. There was 3 different kinds of crisp in it.
Aye.
Like that mixed, and you get the M&Ms in that. You get like mixed bags of M&Ms. So why did the cereal guys not get? Maybe because it's shite.
Maybe. I'm going to write to them and ask, why, oh, why, oh, why? I don't kind of cereal companies have like their equivalent of Shortbangers for fucking folk to send them to have questions. Matt Reedy, how bad would a drunk bang go? Well, we've all experienced that, so I think we could just go fucking past that.
Okay, man.
Right, here's one for you. This is for Liam. If you try to fail and you succeed, which have you done?
You've succeeded at failing.
Aye. Have you effectively turned into Craig Levine? Aye.
That's a good question. Why would you try and fail?
Maybe it was an AIDS test.
Well, you definitely succeeded then.
Aye, so that's a win in anybody's book, isn't it? Right. Kaiser Soze said, what Scottish jokes does Hungary have? Right, and the context for this one is attached like a wee map of Europe, and it tells you which countries. Do you know how like, we traditionally would have laughed at Irish, right? Irish jokes, right? Were what you used to have. In fact, for the whole of Britain was Irish jokes, apart from Southern Ireland, right? I'll not get into the semantics of Britain and all the rest of it, right? Southern Ireland would laugh at the British, but Hungary laughs at Scotland. We are their Irish.
Is that right?
So, why? What have they got against us?
Is that the team that? Is that the team that Gary Mackay scored against 30 years ago?
Okay, maybe I would have that against us.
Ireland. Mind to put Ireland out and qualified, and Mackay was getting bottles of champagne and that sent for Ireland. Is that right? Have I got the team wrong?
I
Trying what Hungary would have against us. I don't know. Probably invaded them or something, did they, in the old days?
Maybe. But it seems to be only them. Like everybody else is quite sound to us. So I think how many listeners we've got in Hungary, but if you're listening and you're in Hungary, tell us your best Scottish joke and then also let us know what the fuck we did to deserve it.
And what can we do to make up for it?
Aye, how can we make it in? This is kind of reminiscent of what's this Eurovision, eh? Did you see that? With Britain getting fuck all night?
Well, I knew they got fuck all, but I didn't watch it because I was sitting in here in a huff after the game.
So it was. That's why we watched it. It's to take your mind off the football. Jane put it on, and as it goes on and they're getting the points, I'm going, this can't get any points. That's what's happening. It's like, and he was who was it? Was representing Britain or United Kingdom. He was like an actual singer. I can't mind his name. John somebody.
Or he's a songwriter or something, isn't he? He's written songs for me.
I could. He used to have like he used to be in the charts and that.
I'll not know. I'll still not fucking know. I'll look him up. Right? I bet I still don't know who it is.
But I'm pretty sure even the audience voting gave him Britain nothing as well. It's like not a single soul in the whole of fucking Europe and other countries that they include for whatever reason voted.
James Newman.
I said John. Close enough.
John Newman's a different person. Heard of him.
Aye. Well.
Aye. No.
Anyway.
He was written songs for Rudimental and that. But maybe he's just a shite singer, eh? Nah, but Britain always getting a hand in that because I don't know what the story is there. But even before Brexit, we got nothing.
I wonder if we the cunts of Europe. We just don't realise it's like that wee meme with what's his face of Peep Show, where he's dressed up as a rat, says he's going to read the bad guys.
I think it must be.
Steve McMahon said, how much bang could a long bang short if a short bang could Longbangers?
Is that where you say 15? I'm not sure. Is that when that comes out? It must be.
15 is the correct answer. Ian McPhail, what's the best anagram of a Hibs player, past or present? Kevin Nisbet invents bike. Total lie, he didn't. Russell Latipe pulsates rally. Paul Kane, a punk hail. I'm sure there's better.
Did any more get sent
in? Possibly, and I might have forgot to bookmark them, so I'm going to say no. I'd apologise to anybody who did send them in. Oh, Alan Orman, anal mom. Yeah.
Very good. Well, you sent me that question earlier, so I had a wee pop at a couple. And I got Martin Boyle, Ranty Byline.
Tramline job, you can have for Martin Boyle as well.
Aye.
Randy Byline.
And I've got Mixu, an example unit.
Ooh, decent.
I thought it was a decent one.
Aye, quite relevant as well.
I was trying to make them relevant. Like I went with Brian Dickey. Brian Nicked. I thought that sounded like the kind of guy he is.
You can anagram is one of only 3 words in the English dictionary that you can't make other words with it as well, ironically.
Is that?
Right, next. What? That's one of those. It's different now. See, what you've got Google, right? Google's fucked things like that for everybody. Folk who like to just tell false facts. Because it used to be a time. See, if you wanted to start not a fight, but like a wee argument amongst your mates in the pub, drop the fact in that the Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso, at the time of filming, was younger than Mr. Miyagi.
I've heard about that before.
Aye, and it's effective because it's wild enough for folk to think it might be true. Do you know, like sometimes if you go to the other extreme, they go, fuck off, right? And then they think, what? And then they start to question themselves if folk get wound up. But now folk just go to their phone and go, fucking Mr. Miyagi, no, you're a lying prick. Totally fucking ruins it.
Aye. You can when you're onto something though, if you start Googling it and the answer starts, and the question starts getting filled in, in the drop down.
Aye.
And you think, oh, loads of folk have asked this before.
Maybe it is. We need to start a fake Google for it. I tell you somebody that New Zealand was built on top of Old Zealand.
That's true though.
That's true. Right, Ron Burgundy said, how PC has the world got? Seen today that folks are wanting Father's Day banned because it's disrespectful to single mothers and same-sex marriages. I almost got to 3 on Alan McGregor rage scale. So I always question whether these things are true.
It can't be true. That's a Daily Mail thing.
Aye, the PC gone mad. There are some things that are fucking mental. I mean, probably best know again. I mean, on reflection, you get yourself in all sorts of bother, but some of it nowadays is like going, fucking that. I question it. See, like things like you can't call it a blackboard anymore. I go, that's bash. Folks surely are still calling it a blackboard. Then.
Baba Black Sheep. That's the other one, eh?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm not having it.
No chance.
But
the winter holidays. That's the other one, eh?
Aye, because you can't call it Christmas. Shite. You didn't need to include everybody in everything. This is the other thing about it. Is like life isn't inclusive. I didn't need to be included in fucking Mother's Day. Like I didn't feel left out when it's Mother's Day. I've got, oh fucking hell, that's a disgrace.
Well, you could just fuck off and leave her with the bairns, eh? To spend the day on. It's Mother's Day. Spend the time with your bairns.
There you go. Enjoy it. Oh, in the pub.
And see that one about same-sex marriage though. So if they're two guys, surely it's just Father's Day for both of them. Surely.
Aye.
Like, what's the problem?
They didn't need to be fucking left out at all. No. Oh. And some days are no for you. That's the other thing. It goes back to like the fucking all lives matter shite. No, you don't need to say all lives matter when you're talking about Black Lives Matter. You just let Black Lives Matter fucking go.
See the England team and all that. You see that, right? And like I said to the wife earlier on in the car, I says they're booing and that, and they're saying it's for political reasons. And they can't guess what the political reasons are.
No. They
just say, it's because of the political group, Black Lives Matter. What's the beliefs? I don't fucking know.
Something about Marxism. Aye. It's because you're fucking racist is what it is. Right. Ewan Wilson said, what's the exchange rate between pounds and the blue pound? And how much is Kevin Nisbet worth in blue pounds after scoring against that orange mob?
Right.
So
how much did they pay in the pound for their assets back?
Well, they paid a pound for everything, didn't they? I reckon what the total debt was. So you're talking less than a penny to the pound.
Aye, but that was to buy all their name back and all that.
Aye.
They would have paid their debts. Well, they wouldn't have. They didn't pay their fucking debts, but they would have come to an agreement when they were in admin.
How much were they saying Morelos was worth it? So they were kind of quoting him about 30 million at some point. So that must make it, I think, kind of about £6 for every pound.
Are you going up the way? So I'm thinking down the way, right? I'm going the pound is worth 7 pence because that's what it says there for each pound. Right. So that means my workings out, if we're saying 4 million for Nisbet, they'd pay 280 grand for him, which sounds about fucking right. It's probably a Daily Record headline in that.
Aye. Or you could look at it another way and say they've gone 1 to 55. Do you know what I mean? Like if they take the title, they won 1 and they're saying, well, that's 55. So maybe they're going 55 blue pounds to the pound. So every other country's gone, it's just the one.
That's interesting, eh?
Aye. Akpo Soji, Jake Poos.
So what about Kyle McGuinness, a meekly signing?
A meekly signing?
Meek. I had to use the L in the Y.
Aye. William said, what was better, A-Team or Knight Rider?
Oh, I like both. I'm an 80s kid, eh? So, but I did like both and I watched both. It wasn't a choice, was it? You could watch both.
Oh, aye. You didn't have to pick sides.
But it wasn't like one was on BBC One, one was on ITV at the same time or anything. I think I think it would be the 18 though, because I used to have all the wee action figures and the bag van and that. Everything had a lot of all that shit.
I've covered this before on with John, saying my mum and dad were pacifists, right? Well, still are pacifists, I would say. So they weren't really approving of things like Knight Rider and the 18 because everything was resolved with a fight. You know, that was pretty much the way out of it. And that was the upbringing, was that's not the way that you sort things out. It's not just having a fight. So my dad would come in, and if you're of our age, like your dad would probably be the same, come in, if what he wanted wasn't what was on the TV, he'd go turn that shite off, change the channel, and then kick you out his seat.
Or the kind of one he said, the it was about Mind Your Pink News.
Aye.
Piece of fucking paper. I'm trying to read it. I paid for it. Piece of fucking paper.
That's it.
Then I started delivering them. He was on my route. So he used to get his last, and I used to read it on the way round. On the way round, click him. His last is like, there's a paper. It's like, fucking last, you walk past the house. I know. I was reading it.
Hadn't finished. Aye, so we always had it turned off. I mind one Christmas getting money from my granddad, and that's what I spent the money on, was 18 figures. They were shite as well. They were, do you know, the figures that had movable joints, and there was like a kind of metal pin through them. They just fucking fell apart. Even BA, which you'd think would be the toughest one.
He's carrying on that shit. He's carrying on the necklaces and that though.
Aye, probably made
weaken him.
I'd probably preferred the 18 Knight Rider as well. Although,
and it wasn't violent. I mean, they shot everybody. Nobody ever died. I think maybe one person got hurt once. You know what I mean?
No, nobody did. But I think it was just an excuse to turn the telly over, really. And I think, had they given it a chance, they might have liked it. Do you know, they might have went, oh, fuck it, this is all right.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? I would say, like, we're probably, like, in this case, we're probably, are we pacifists? We're definitely no for war, right?
No.
But we still watch, like, we still watch stuff we shooting in that.
Aye, well, here's the this is where I'm starting to question it, Colin, because we would watch fucking Terminator and Die Hard and all this shite. Do you know, let's say shite, good films, right? We fucking watch it all. Even at that age, do you know, I can't remember what year Die Hard came out, but the equivalent.
Karate Kid, even.
Karate Kid, aye. Star Wars, this fighting the Star Wars and that. So, I think it was,
they just thought it was shite and they're like, we're not watching this shite.
That's it.
On those house party.
And now I start to question my whole fucking morals and my values that have been brought up. Like, fighting was all right. Oh, fucking bastard, I've missed out on loads. I could have been a casual.
You missed the boat. You were too young.
I missed it. Too young for that, I suppose. But I can't fight sleep either. So, but maybe I could if I wasn't a fucking pacifist. Oh, man. Right. St. Christopher said, do you wash the bit you can't reach on your back? I think mine was last cleaned when I was 5. Next time we'll probably be in a care home in 50 years.
No, they only do that, yeah. You do pay enough to stay. They don't wash your back in there either. Well, that's you done, mate. That's
you can get most of your back, though, can't you? Like, I'm fucking trying it.
So you're telling me you try and wash your back, but you don't wash your legs?
No,
that's good.
I never said never wash my legs.
Oh, did you know?
No.
Who was that? Was that John?
I can't remember. It came up.
I didn't wash my back. I can't. Nah.
I do what I can reach, and then
just let the shampoo on in.
Normally get the shower head and get a rinse done as well. Yeah. Oh, I'll take the shower head off the wall and have a rinse all over.
I can imagine what you're. What if I can imagine it?
Liam says, what does a piece of cheese say when it gets its picture taken?
Well, we're imagining this piece of cheese can talk, are we? Right.
Well, we're going to have to.
We're going to have
to. It's not got a mouth.
Must be. No, if we're just people, I was just going to say that. Human people, something like that.
It might just say cheese as well. Just be proud.
Maybe that means something else that we don't know.
It's not like they get loads of glory, does it? Cheese, so maybe that's it would just back itself. 150k on Hanlon Hill. Does the first person in the human centipede have to pick up after the last person in the line as penance, and where would they keep the poo bag? So have you seen the Human Centipede? Are you aware of it?
No.
No. Right. I haven't seen it either, but I have seen an episode of South Park where they reference it quite heavily. And what happens is they basically, it's Apple have got it in their terms and conditions that you agree to, that they can reads that they can use you as part of the Human Centipede. So they start, it's like they stitch on like your head onto somebody's arse, pretty much, and then repeat that. So you end up with like a centipede of folk going head to arse all the way. I'm not sure if there's more to it or that, but that's effectively what my take on what the Human Centipede
And we're
is.
saying that by doing that, only the last person has a shite.
Yes.
As well, because even though they all stop needing the toilet because they're sellotaped or whatever, stitched in.
Stitched in by gaffer tape. blue tack.
I would say the first person's got to pick it up then.
Aye.
They can see where they're going and they can get in.
Aye.
Logical.
Last person's no good. I hope if they can see what they're doing.
I'm sure that'll be in the terms and conditions as well, though. Like, they'll have covered that.
It's bound to be. So where would they keep the poo bag? Well, fuck it in their pocket. They're bound to have enough of them. So, Alex said, what's that coming over the hill?
I don't know.
A lobster. Lobster.
Yeah, Ivan Sproul. Souvenir lap. No.
Aye.
Rubbish.
Souvenir lap.
I'll try to put players or letters in their name that you could reuse, kind of like B's and that, like different ones.
Souvenir lap's no bad, because you reckon he'd be over quite quick with Sproul away.
Aye, well, that was the thinking, is the running, eh?
Do you think Ivan Sproul would go faster than Sonic the Hedgehog?
Aye, I do,
aye.
That's my opinion, like, I mean, if somebody wants to challenge it, feel free, but I'm comfortable in my...
All I'm saying is, Sproul's scored a hat-trick at Ibrox. What the fuck has Sonic ever done?
Exactly.
So he beat a fat cunt in a wee spaceship, so they're not comparable. Right, the Hibs are here, said, what's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? 15.
Must be.
I love questions like that coming to us. Like, it's one of the best things. You go, fuck. You could Google it, you could probably find it out. But I also like the fact that it's been specific that it's an unladen swallow. So no one that's away to go on its way back for the shops. Ken, it's still got its fucking shopping bags there.
Still carrying it.
or homeless with the stick with the wee bag on the end. Flapping about.
See, when you Google it, right. When you Google it, there's actual answers in that, but it came up, it's a Monty Python thing.
Oh, is it?
Aye.
There you go.
That's why it's obviously a question they've done in one of the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So it's something for that film, obviously, that they've answered or done or whatever.
Aye. That's a good film too. I can't mind that bit though. Ewan Mackley said, if we're living in a simulation, why is Alan McGregor so angry, and do you think in real life he's equally angry?
See, I don't think he is. I think he's putting it on. I think it's about that. He can't be as angry as he is. Or it appears to be. Because it's just like he gets angry over stuff that, well, if he's as angry as that, he needs to go and see somebody, right? There's no doubt about it. He needs to go and sort it out. Like, there's help. Aye, absolutely, and his club should be helping him with that, because if he's genuinely as angry as that and not putting it on, he's ill. There's just, he gets angry about stuff that, like the ball going out for a corner when it was a corner, like clear to everybody, and you why are you so angry, laddie? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? It's just like a proper, and I can remember him the first time when being that bad. So like since he bumped, because he was one of the ones that bumped Rangers, with Whittaker and that, when they bumped them for the when they went bust and that, and when they signed the 2P contract and all that. And since he's came back, it's like he's trying to prove to them how much he loves it and cares, because he bumped them 8-9 years ago, whatever it is.
Do you think everybody tries to get on the team bus before him, so they're no?
I'm not saying that.
Get the last seat and you go, oh, fuck's sake.
But then again, you wouldn't want him in the front, because he's liable to run off fucking bus and lamp the driver that goes out in front of them or something.
We've got a red light, fucking red light. Karate kick in the fucking ring.
He's absolutely fucking nuts. Like it's, but he wasn't like that the first time. He was angry-ish. I mean, but he wasn't. But every time the ball goes near him, he's pulling a face. Or
Aye.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I watched when St Johnstone put them out in the quarter-final, and the boy came up and scored. The goalie came up and never scored, but you know what I mean.
Almost did.
When they were going to take the penalties, he was actually looked like he was having a laugh. I can't remember the goalie's name. You can know what I mean.
Team Wolf.
Xander,
Xander Clark or Team
Wolf?
Wolf?
Xander Clark. No, the goalie. Anyway, Team Wolf. He, they looked like they were having a laugh, and I thought, fucking hell, look, he's taking the mask off for a wee minute.
Aye.
Because he can't be like that. He can't possibly do that. If he was like that, the Rangers would do something about it. I'm sure they would.
Maybe. He could travel.
I can use guys talk about you guys do mental health stuff and all that. I'm not meaning to demean anything and what I'm saying here, but that guy needs help if that is genuinely how he is.
Aye, if it's not just his competitive nature. Right, the Hibs are here. If they remade Pac-Man and replaced what he eats with Baines of Stenhouse pies, would he get stuck in the maze? Yes. I don't care if I've ever explained why I'm the way I am.
You have.
All right, I'll leave it.
You live near the pie shop.
That's on Stenhouse Cross. It was but actually, Baines was my second choice one because the bakers that was opposite called Matheson's did the best Scotch pies. The Scotch pies for there were much better than Baines, in my opinion. And then my father-in-law, my late father-in-law, introduced me to pie on a roll.
I've still not done that.
Oh, fucking hell. It is a buttered roll, Scotch pie in it. Fucking incredible.
You have sauce in it?
Nah, you could put sauce in it. I feel like I said normally when they put sauce in a pie anyway. If it was a good pie, if a shite pie, I'd put sauce in it. No a shite pie. Like a mince pie that was very good.
Like a Greg's one.
A Greg's one. Yeah, that would get sauce in it. And because before I moved there, well, you came. I was like fucking mere meat and a butcher's pencil. Size 28 trousers was what I was in when I moved in with Jane, and I'm not a size 28 anymore. Right, let's just leave it there. Fucking by some distance, not a size 28, and that was the overriding factor. Stop smoking as well. Smoking keeps you thin, apparently. Suppresses.
You never smoked when you were that thin either, though. Like at first.
No, at first, no. What was 18 or something when I started smoking? I just done it for a few years. Anyway.
You would have been great at the next sale, eh? Kind of like when you walk in and it's all the size 28. Who the fuck wears these?
Get my picket, whatever I wanted.
Everything left. I was looking at them and go, fucking hell, man. Get my ear on that, maybe.
Could jump both legs in. Right. Aye, so Pac-Man definitely would get stuck, and I'll say that for experience. Right, 150k or Hanlon Hill. When do Green Day enter hibernation before waking up in September? Were you a fan of Green Day?
Not really. I'll go for end of May.
End of May, aye.
Did they send the answer in?
Eh?
Did he send the answer in, the boy?
What, the boy for Green Day?
No, the boy for that.
Him, aye, he could do. I think he was trying to ask us, though. I don't care how long a human will last at hibernating. Again, would being fat help?
Aye.
Would you last longer if you've got a bit more to get through? Or do your organs just go, fuck, this is too much anyway?
It's water. Water's really important, eh? So as long as you're getting water, then you must be able to last longer as long as you're getting water. I don't know, mate. Fuck, you're asking. I'm not a biologist. I can't wait till a question comes up that I'm actually fucking qualified to answer.
The fucking no chance.
Should I put 20 grand in my ISA?
Tougher Cornet said, "Who let the dogs out?" I reckon if they ever established who did that, did they ever get them back in?
Well, it depends on the breed, because some of them can be disobedient.
What was the one that chased the deer? Renton? Was that his name? Fenton? Renton? No, Renton was changed. Was it Fenton?
Fenton, man.
The boy who chased the dogs going after the fucking deer.
Yeah.
That'd be a beamer for you. Fuck's sake. That would be the time when you bump into somebody that you really didn't want to fucking bump into. Like you're chasing your dog, and it's fucking chasing deer. You've lost control of the fucking situation, and the one cunt in the world that you didn't want to fucking bump into is just out for a stroll that day. Oh, hello, what you doing? fuck off. That's how folk end up murdering. People who wouldn't question or think about murdering, that's how it happens. Like, these unexplained ones. And they go, I didn't seem like the type. That'll have happened. The Doug will have gone a bit fucking rage. They've bumped into the wrong person at the wrong time and they just gone, fuck it. There's nobody about. I'm just doing this. Anyway.
DNA and all that.
I'm just doing it. I'll bury them. I'll blame the dog.
Maybe they'll fucking know.
Maybe they'll kid. Maybe they like them anyway. 150k in Hanlon Hill said headwind or tailwind? Tailwind's always better, eh? Aye. Tailwind's.
Aye, definitely. It wouldn't have been behind you.
Aye, I can't think of a situation where it wouldn't be better. Unless it was a really hot day and you want a bit of breeze maybe, but...
Nah, I mean, I used to... I'm just drinking back the day. I cycled into work for a while, right? I used to go right along Portobello Beach in the morning, along towards Seafield and that. And it gets really nice on a nice day. Too many people, obviously. But first thing in the morning, it's lovely, right? A couple of times I went along and the wind was coming. Fuck knows what if it was a tailwind or... Well, it certainly wasn't a tailwind, right?
It was a
side wind or a... And I could have got off the bike and pushed it quicker than I was walking it. So I was praying for a tailwind that day, or those days. So definitely a tailwind.
Is it a euphemism for a burp or a fart?
Oh,
the headwind being a burp and the tailwind being a fart. In which case, the answer stays the same because a fart's always better than a burp. Burp.
Definitely, yeah.
The best thing about a burp is if it's unexpectedly loud, but an unexpectedly loud fart still trumps an unexpectedly loud burp. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Right, Alex said, right, think carefully before you reply to this one because I think this is security information mining that Alex is up to here.
All right.
Let's hear your Tory name, right? So your Tory name, take the first name of one of your grandparents, then the name of the first street you lived on, and finally your head teacher's surname. So
your first head teacher's surname?
Aye. So Alex said,
a long time ago.
His was Alexander Newington Briggs, and I'll raise your taxes without hesitation. So I am not going to answer this with a fucking any real answers because best like the things on Facebook where they're asking you for everything apart from your fucking PIN number. What was your mother's maiden name?
Aye. So I'm all right here because I don't use any of this for my security. Right, I'll go Daniel, right? Now, the street, that's funny, I didn't live in a street. I lived in a block of flats and it was called TV at Bank House. So my name is Daniel TV at Bank House Reid. So that's about fucking treble barreled.
Aye, fucking hell. You're in the upper echelons here.
I'm a bit of a Reese Morgan.
You've basically found the eating.
TV at Bank House, it's not there anywhere. Or I could go Daniel Nidri Marshall Reid.
Aye. Less likely to be a Tory, if I'm honest with you.
That's it. TV at Bank House was up in Nidri Marshall. It was the one they knocked it down. In the 80s, I think, 90s, early 90s.
I'll go with Jacob Rees-Mogg just because I fucking can't. You know how sometimes there's a few people in life that I fucking detest, and just the mere sight of them or the mention of them raises my blood pressure. He's fucking one of them. Him and Gove, the other wee snivelling prick. The two of them, the worst fuckers in the fucking, well, just in the planet. There are probably folk that are worse than them. No many. You see them and you think, you'd love to banjo them. Like I said about being a pacifist and everything. Yeah. They're definitely on my list of folk that if you had the opportunity to just fucking smash them square on in the pus, I would happily take it.
They're the smarmiest of smarmy cunts, and they're disingenuous. That's the... You just can't believe a word they'll say. Like, Gove will switch sides depending on the argument.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So he'll know, but never back up a point because he doesn't believe in anything.
Didn't advocate violence anyway, right? I was just saying, didn't they actually go and punch him in the past? That's no...
Please say that because mind the boy have talked like them. She got hounded on Twitter back to social media pricks for saying that.
Aye.
But, what, a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Aye, he did. So I'm no genuinely saying to go and hit folk. Just
we'll get the boy of Top Flight Time Machine to go and say it.
Aye, they can say it all right for them. But in your head, where it's all safe, you can do that. Right. I think if you'll get this reference, Colin, I didn't read the comic. Out of 15, how Zarjaz was 2000 AD, really. That was for Ladij. So Judge Dredd and the Mekons and things like that was 2000 AD. I think I only maybe read that 2 or 3 times. Ironically, because we're talking about top flight time machine, I read Roy the Rovers when I was wee. That was a comic I had. Used to get Roy the Rovers delivered. Fucking brilliant.
Did you? I used to get do you remember the wee books you used to get? The wee sort of A5 maybe ones, football. They were just called football
or commando or things like that.
Remember them? My granny used to get them when I go to stay with her on a Friday night. She'd go to the bingo. I go and stay with her and I'd just be like, there's your magazines, football. And it was just all, it was all different stories every week.
Brilliant.
Current characters, excellent.
I don't care if you still make them, but anyway.
I had issue number 1, I never had loads of them. I've not got them anymore.
Ladij's next question was, is Curvy Nisbet handy enough to produce a complicated, fancy looking spreadsheet extolling the prowess of a new cryptocurrency, the half coin, HAF coin? How damaging would it be to your current careers should the half coin scheme unravel? So we're both in financial services, so we probably couldn't get involved in anything like that. So is John. So it would be hugely damaging if we were to, might fucking do it for a laugh the way.
What would be damaging about it though? It would only be damaging if we were advising somebody on it and we weren't regulated to advise.
Or if we were manipulated. I think what you're saying here is we'd create the spreadsheet and say, look how fucking brilliant this new cryptocurrency is. We've made all this money on it and it was actually worthless. It was equivalent to a blue pound.
Yeah.
Aye. So we couldn't do that at all. I could use it under an assumed name though. So if anybody's up for the banter, we'll get right behind it.
I'll add his name. I'll fucking reserve him right for using your PC. So he fucking uses a laptop and all.
That's it. It was to me. I was looking at I was looking at all the dirty stuff, right? This is Jane's back book, so you definitely can't do that. John messaged us through the week and said, have you thought about putting Shortbangers clips on TikTok? Right? And I'll be honest, I've never looked at TikTok before. So I said, no, never thought of that. He said, oh, you should do it. You should see what happens. So I went and downloaded TikTok, put a video on. So the wee ad that I had a recast, it's a minute long, so 40 seconds. Put that on. Got quite a few views, thought that's good. And then have you used TikTok before, Colin? You had to look at it. Right.
I've seen it because my lasses have got it, but I've never got it.
My experience, this is where John suggested it was to do with cookies, right? But I can say categorically it's no to do with cookies, right? My experience of it was maybe 70% of the videos that were on were women who were just on the right side of legal age, doing their best to show their tits without showing their tits. They should have called it TikTok, and it would have been made that correct. No, I said, Jane says, look at that, because the kids all use it. I was like, surely the kids aren't seeing all stuff like this. She's like, oh, I've never looked at it before. And it's not every video, right? You go through and you have somebody fucking making donuts or.
So they've just basically transferred it to Insta then, because that's what Instagram was as well, wasn't it?
Well, see, I'm not big on Instagram. I hardly ever look at it. So my mate Stevie, he calls it Insta wank though. So I would imagine that content is there if you look for it. Wankogram. he is a dirty bastard, right? So on Instagram, I never see the point. It's just fucking photos. Is it like different? Twitter, folk can have like a bit of banter in that way. Twitter's good fun. Facebook's pictures of their dinner, and you can see what your pals are up to. Instagram, like, what the fuck's the point? TikTok, I was like, well, I just I get it.
Like folks that crazies on it and that, and it's like my youngest will come in and say, I'm going to try and make this fucking fairy cake in a mug and that, and it goes in the microwave and you fuck you then. Just because you've seen it on TikTok. I want to try it all out. It's mental like how they start these things.
Jess and our pals, they did loads of wee videos in it. And I'm like, fucking hell. It worried me though when I saw it. I was like, he's better be doing fucking stuff like this, by the way. It was unreal. Anyway, I'll tell you where you can download it, Colin. Anyway, so you can check it out
Right,
for
thank you,
yourself
sure.
to tell you if I'm telling you the truth.
Tell us what pages you've looked at.
Eh?
Just so I can steer clear of them.
Just that's so you know which ones to avoid. If anybody wants that information, just DM us and we'll let you know. Right, Kaiser Susie said, when Johnny Cash wrote Hurt, was this about stubbing his wee toe in a table leg?
I don't know, but that is so.
Aye, it's see when Jane was pregnant, right? And you know when you go to Edinburgh, you were up at the New Royal, and they do like a wee tour of the maternity ward, you know, before you're gone in. So we're in, and there's a fucking woman screaming. Right? It's obviously kind of mid-labour, giving birth, and it's like it's ungodly noise, and you're like, Jesus Christ, she must be having a hard time it. And so there's midwives, me, Jane, and the midwife, and I give Jane a wee nudge. And she's like, I can't know how she feels. I stubbed my toe once. Fucking midwives give me evils. Fucking hell. I was the flavour of the month for that one. Apparently, it wasn't Johnny Cash that wrote that. Anyway, Councillor Tom McEwen said it was an American industrial rock band, 9 Inch Nails, and it was written by Trent Reznor. So do you think Trent Reznor, has he stubbed his wee toe on the table, or stood on a bit of Lego?
Or a 9 Inch Nail.
Or a 9 Inch Nail, that's probably what it's about. I think we've solved it.
Yep. Got there now.
Steve Stacey, do jelly beans make jellyfish fart?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes on that one.
I like to think that's the case. But also, a jellyfish is going to always have a wet fart. Always, it's going to be. Not that it matters if a jellyfish isn't cared for. I don't think they get socially awkward. But every fart they do is going to be a wet one, probably quite a squelchy one as well.
A few bubbles.
A few bubbles. Mike say, all right, hold on, missing one out. Ron Burgundy, what's the worst insult, Jambo or Sevco? I think it's a state of mind. Yes. Would you rather be called a Jambo or Sevco?
See, Sevco's a crap one, like, really.
Aye. Neither of them are particularly harsh. They're kind of like the opposite of what you want to be called as a Hibs fan anyway. But there's definitely worse things that folk would call you. Mike says, is it acceptable to wear socks and Crocs? Clearly some people feel it is. Personally, I think anyone that has Crocs and wears them outside should be taken into a field and shot, especially with socks. You can't shoot somebody with socks, can you? That wouldn't hurt. That was like mine Neil Lennon got a fucking bullet sent to him. I thought that's a fucking shite way to shoot somebody. Like, there's no fucking...
the Royal Mail delivering it.
It took fucking days to get there. You'd open up and just went, oh, you missed. Fucking waste of time. What were you thinking of? Socks and Crocs, would you wear that?
No, I wouldn't. No, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't wear Crocs either, but I wouldn't see the point buying Crocs and wearing them in the house.
No.
Either. I thought they were pointing them like they were sort of waterproof things for when you're at the pool and that.
Aye, or to the beach. Aye, I wouldn't be putting socks on with them.
I don't know why folk do wear socks. Why do folk wear socks? Like I've not got the greatest feet in the world, right? Got like dry skin and that. But so if I wear sandals on holiday or flip flops or whatever or fucking the other thing they get called now. What's the other thing they get called? Sliders or something.
Sliders, that's it.
Anyway, wear that for too long, my heels crack. So I'm like, fucking hell. So I need to wear like proper trainers or whatever again to save the heels. So I don't know if that's the only reason you would wear. Like,
aye, they probably want to wear that. Yeah, on holiday. That would be it.
Bad feet.
Although the other thing I say is, right, in defence of the cunts that do it, who cares? I'm not bothered what folk wear. It's like folk say, shouldn't you wear a football top if you're over 30? Fuck off. See if I wear a football top.
I agree with that.
I
agree with. See, I know you do. See, pins they wear like sliders or flip flops with socks. The fuck.
Aye.
Or they grey joggy bottoms that are hanging round their arse and that. The laddies at the jippy.
Or the really tight jeans that stop. We used to call them cat dyes.
Cat dyes,
aye. But they seem to be all right.
And
now.
they socks and shoes.
Aye, but big fucking clunky shoes as well. Aye.
So I do care what people wear, but I can't do anything about it.
I wouldn't be wanting to shoot them for it. That's the point I'm making. Each to their own. Folk can wear what they want.
Well, I don't know. Like some folk maybe, but I would have to wait and see how bad it was.
Aye. So we've got Alan McGregor on the line. We'll get his views on it. Alex asks, what's the female equivalent to a Billy Big Boys? Mandy Massive Minge. I think it would.
I'm just trying to think. Like Tina Big Tits. Get names like what Jugs? What do you say, Jugs? So Julie Jugs.
Giant,
I can't get middle
Julie Giant Jugs.
Julie Giant Jugs.
Billy Big Boys. Aye. You wouldn't, because you say Billy Big Boys for somebody who's a show off, but that's because I suppose if you were a guy and you had big boys, you probably would be quite kind of like Buster Gonad. If as he fucking carried them about in a wheelbarrow, he'd show everybody them.
That's right.
Quite proud of it. Well, that's true. But you would think, Ken, actually, I was in Tesco the day for a change, and as a coming out, there was an old guy, right? And I say old guy, I was talking late 60s, right? Obviously in quite good shape, right? He looked after himself, but he had the tightest pair of like, they were like cycling shorts, or do you know, like the shorts you would put on if you were exercising that you put underneath the actual shorts that reveal everything. He had a pair of them on, and Joe, when you see something you didn't want to see, I thought, who the fuck would go around the shops like that? He's been around the whole of the fucking supermarket. Basically, just here's my arse and genitals for anybody who wants to fucking see.
Mad.
Which nobody wanted to see because I'm not being ageist here, but maybe I'm being ageist. I doubt anybody wanted to see it, especially like the young lads.
Sagging like fuck.
The checkout and that, I was like, fucking hell, mate. I was actually almost tempted to fucking comment on it, but again, go back to my previous point, each to their own.
It's almost deliberate though. There's a boy who used to go to the gym over there at the high school, and he'd wear the kind of running shorts that the Olympic runners wear, the wee short ones, and he'd be on the rowing machine. He's fucking boss that was singing out one side. Hey, you not got a pair of fucking pants or like a bigger pair of shorts or something? Like, what are you doing? Like, you get that trapped under the fucking under the seat.
Serious. Aye. Weirdos, eh? Aye. Anyway, the point of making Billy Big Boys is a bit different for a man. Again, this goes into some of the conversations we have on this the show, but whether there's an equivalence or a problem with equivalence when you try to say what's the same for a woman, because maybe it is, but having a massive minge isn't it like something that you would shout about?
Sure, no.
You know, maybe you would, I think, Ken.
It's big tits. I don't know if big tits are, because I think they're more a pain in the back for them, aren't they, than anything else.
Well, on TikTok, it appears to be something they're all quite fucking happy about. The ones on TikTok are anyway, very few of them seem to be moaning about it. Leon asks, are there any gifts you use regularly but haven't actually seen the film or programme that it's from?
Oh,
yes.
Definitely.
Aye, yes.
I use gifts all the time. I usually just, but I wouldn't say it's any specific programme. I just Google, I just stick it in, whatever I'm thinking, in the search bar, and it brings up loads of gifts. And the American Office is something I've never seen. Like, I love The Office, the proper one.
Aye.
And I've only seen the sort of half of the first series of the American one, and I switched it off, and I use loads of gifts for that. And the other ones are like, I don't know, like ones with lassies flicking their hair and all that shit that are in like American, obviously, teen movies or whatever. I use loads of them.
Well, you've seen them away. Can you like connoisseur of the American teen movie genre?
Absolutely.
I've seen them all.
So a lot of them, but may rhyme or reason.
I didn't use gifts a lot, if I'm honest with you. Airplane, now and again, I've seen that in the Office. They're like my go-to ones. Occasionally I look for a Vic and Bob one. Not many of them when you search them. disappointingly few, because actually some Vic and Bob ones would be fucking brilliant as gifts. If they can how to make them, if I knew how to make them, I might go and do that. But they can.
Yeah.
Right, Alistair Taylor. Right, we're almost there, cause there's 2 questions left. Alistair Taylor said, "What's a better feeling, having a really big jobby that comes out without any effort, or emptying a very full bladder?"
My preference is the latter. And over the last year, being sitting on Microsoft Teams for a long period of time, the amount of times I've been sitting there thinking, I'm bursting on a piss. Bursting. And then the relief when you eventually get off the call, didn't through the toilet, is much more than the other option I was given.
I like it when you have like a full clear out anyway, when you're doing a shite. And sometimes you do a shite and you think, that was fine, it's only been a couple of minutes. And then other times you go for a shite and you think, everything I've eaten in the last week has just passed through me there. And I'm empty. You feel like you've come out like a shell of your former self. The other ones where you're tempted to weigh yourself.
I was just going to say, is that going to fucking steam?
When you have a wee look to see.
Well, you see what's going on. Hell,
man. Sea level goes back up. Right, last question comes to Liam. Will Alan McGregor be angry that the sun has burnt him, or will he be happy that he's going to be orange soon? And there's a wee picture of him with a wee. I can't see because my phone's disappearing. Can you make that out?
He's got the hands up or something.
They did 55.
Oh, they did a 5. Right. Okay.
Although here they did 5,555, which they've not thought it through.
He'll be fucking raging about that.
Yeah, okay, but when he sees that online as well, fuck's sake, I've overshot by a considerable amount.
He will be angry, though, definitely.
Aye, probably.
But I think he'll be putting on, like I say. I think I'm absolutely convinced it's a big act.
Do you think that, like, if you caught him in a moment off guard, he'd have like one of those really soft voices? You know, like Alex Gogic, when you see Gogic or hear him speaking, he's got a voice much softer than he looks. Do you know what I mean? Like, he looks like quite a hard guy, and then he speaks, and you think, oh, if I never knew what he looked like, I was talking to him on the phone, that's not what I would think he looked like. In these moments when he thinks nobody's watching, do you think McGregor's got one of those voices and just like a load of kittens and stuff like that he kicks about with?
Aye. See, I don't know what I can't actually think what his voice sounds like, but he's an Edinburgh boy, yeah. So he's probably got an accent no dissimilar to us.
Aye.
Or Kevin Thompson or somebody. Well, Thompson's not from Edinburgh, eh? But you get what I mean? Like, he's got to have an accent like that. So he's not got to sound like you would immediately think, Ouija cunt. You know what I mean? But he's not.
No, he's not.
Unless he's picked it up and he's chucking it in.
Probably. He'll be angry about it anyway. Right. That's us. All our questions are done. So, what's coming up? No quick bang, obviously, because there's no football. So Saturday's a write-off. Monday night, we've got Cliff Pike coming on to talk about his top 5 commentary games that he's commentated on. So that'll be interesting.
Has he only ever commentated on Hibs games, or has he done any others? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I'll ask him.
Because he'd obviously worked on other radio. He's done other radio shows now. I just wondered if he'd ever done anything else.
That'd be interesting. So, looking forward to doing that. And then we have, following that, we've got a few folk coming on to do top 5s as well over the pre-season. And again, if you're interested in coming on to do one, give us a shout. We'll probably do one a week, but depending on how many folk we've got on and what we might do more than that. But,
and are they picking the topic, Matthew? Is it? Are they? Yeah, he's saying 5 commentaries, and then somebody else will pick the top 5 players.
But when I asked Cliff if he'd come on, I'd said 5 commentary games. And obviously, if Cliff's listening, he could do whatever he wants. But I thought it would be a good starter for the series. Yeah. So looking forward to doing that. Should be interesting. So tune in for that. It'll be on Recast. It'll be on all our usual channels as well. Colin, thanks very much for your time tonight. It was a late one for you, so I hope I've not kept you up.
No, a bottle of wine helped me. Keep me going.
Happy days. I've still had half a bottle of Iron Brew. It's not quite the same. I think if we've got wine, we might go and see. Right, take care, everybody. We'll see you. Dry County line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.